What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? I am here to do an interview, and you guys know who I'm interviewing. This is a very, very cool day. So, if you don't know who I'm interviewing, these are two guys from RedLetterMedia, Jack and Rich. And, you know, they do a show called Previously Recorded Live. So we're going to chat about video games, we'll chat about RedLetterMedia, and we'll just bullshit a little bit. So I'm going to give them a call, and we'll get started. Hey guys.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. So you're live with Vine Sauce, and I'd like to introduce you to. I'm here with Jack Picard, and Rick Stevens.
Absolutely.
Sure, that's fine. That's close enough.
Rick Stevens and all right, Mr. Picard. Listen. It's great to have you guys here, Jack and Rich. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about some stuff related to video games and movies and, you know, the full spectrum of what you guys do.
Sure.
So, first off, thanks again for agreeing to this. This is a very special moment for a lot of people on the site. Believe it or not.
I don't know why. I'm just a schmuck.
We're schmucks, but thanks for coming on.
I appreciate everybody who's glad to hear from me.
I'll tell you what, three schmucks together in a call, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
So my first question, though, I wanted to actually kind of find out what the impetus behind Previously Recorded was. Like, all right, so it's a video game show. You guys discuss video games. You started with Risk of Rain, right?
Yeah.
And how did this idea come about? How did you two start this?
Well, I was just talking with Mike. We just wanted to, expand the site, add another show, and Mike and Jay are absolutely clueless about video games, and I am the only one out of the three of us who knows anything about video games. And we tried like a year or two ago with a show called Game Station 2.0, and it was just me in front of a camera reading like a review I wrote, and it was horribly awkward because I'm sitting in the room with Mike and Jay, and I'm getting like no useful feedback because I'm talking about Batman Arkham Asylum, and they're like, "What's an Arkham?" They don't know
what's an Arkham.
They don't know what I'm talking about, and it was an uncomfortable way to do the show. We tested it out. I didn't enjoy it, so we stopped making it. And then like a year or so later, we wanted to try and get up another show, and I realized that Jack has an interest in video games. Whenever we're together, we usually have good video game conversations. So it's like, why don't we try the video game thing again? And this time we'll bring Jack in. And I can, we can feed off of each other and have a conversation.
Yeah, basically every time we'd get together, we'd have to tell Mike and Jay to go away so Rich and I could talk about games, and their eyes would glaze over. And so we just decided it'd be a good idea to film it.
We'd be like, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, it reminds me a bit of Half in the Bag with video games. The way you guys are just conversational and you talk about the games. No awkward pauses. No Mike dressed in space outfits. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It feels natural.
The reason it took a year after Game Station to get another show, the reason we didn't start me and Jack right away is because we were reluctant to just duplicate Half in the Bag with me and Jack. We wanted to avoid that as much as we could. We wanted to be fresh somehow or something different. But
absolutely. Well, and that's why we shoot the show very differently than the other two shows on the site, and we try to be our own thing.
Yeah,
I guess.
I mean, our personalities are different, so that's right there. Something different.
Sure. I mean, well, the video game thing in general, it's completely different. But yeah, the personalities are different. The way you approach topics are different. And, Mike and Jay are, they do segments in the house or in the repair shop, and you guys play video games and you talk about them and you keep it brief, and it works. It's much preferable to Game Station. Even with all the production value that it had, I'd much rather see you guys sit on a couch or in a table just talking about video games. It's better.
I do miss the set, though.
I think about that set. You mentioning production values just makes me laugh.
Production value.
Hey, zero is a number, Rich.
Tin foil and cardboard.
Basically.
So, well, then you guys, Jack, and I was chatting with you the other day while you were streaming, and you guys ended up moving to streaming live on Twitch. How did that happen? Like, what made you guys want to do some live stuff?
It was just kind of an extension from talking about doing a show together. I mean, I know streaming on video games is pretty popular, Let's Play type stuff. So I just think from the very beginning, we always planned to do streaming once we started talking about previously recorded. Actually, that's one of the reasons it's called previously recorded. It's so we can have the joke when we do the stream. It's previously recorded
live. It's beautiful and incredibly stupid, but it works.
We're getting our footing. We're getting our footing.
Yeah, and every stream is a new set of technical difficulties to work around, but we have a lot of fun, and it's just an excuse for us to dick around for a couple hours.
It's a game night excuse, essentially.
Sure, and while you're doing it, you have some fun, make people laugh a little bit. That's what we do here. So for me, when I saw it happen, I was like, oh, this is perfect. But the thing is, I noticed Jay pops in a little bit, and he knows a little bit more about video games than Mike does. So
Mike knows nothing.
He doesn't like games.
He's a movie guy. Editing stuff. That's Mike's free time.
Well, I mean, it's fun too, I guess.
Sure. It's just not his thing.
Well, being the video game guys, though, you guys, okay, so you go live, you get your stream on Twitch, and it's immediately pretty popular because of RedLetterMedia and because you tweet it and everything. And immediately, everyone's like, play Dark Souls. Immediately. That happened to me too, but I saw you guys play, and it looks like you had some fun, but curious, how's the progress gone with Dark Souls? Do you wish to revisit it, or are you done with that? Or what's going on?
I may revisit it at some point, but I've kind of been too busy with other things lately. Jack, you've played it some since, right?
I've been dipping my toes into it. That was such a harsh experience, playing live in front of a bunch of people, and then of course having everyone give us terrible advice. just to troll us.
Dark Souls was basically just the audience trolling us.
Yep. I was in chat. I was like, no. And it was lost in the sea of do it, faggot, get good. And I was just like, oh, fucking shit.
Right. Learn how to roll. Learn how to roll.
Yeah. But try jumping off the cliff.
I don't shy away from hard games. I know. I mean, it's ancient history now, but I don't know if you remember Maximo Ghost of Glory on the PS2.
Oh my God.
I actually do remember that.
Yeah, everybody said that was supposed to be the most difficult thing ever, and I've beaten that game on one life. Nice. It's one of my proudest gaming accomplishments.
That's pretty good,
So
Rich.
I don't shy away from hard games. But Dark Souls was just brutal.
Yeah. Well, I had a similar experience too. I played it for a while, and then I decided to stream it, and suddenly friends were not friends anymore. People from the chat were like, Vin, you're terrible. And I was like, well, you're here to teach me. And, it's mostly good advice, but I got about 8 hours into the game and I stopped. So good on you guys if you're going to continue. They love it. Everyone loves Dark Souls. I don't know.
It's, it's one like Dark Souls, XCOM, Dota 2. Those are games that the people that I look up to in the gaming world, those are the games that they're obsessed with. And so it's like they have to be good. And I'm really glad we got a chance to play Dark Souls. I'm looking forward to XCOM next, I think.
I'm very much looking forward to XCOM because I don't suck at XCOM. I'm decent at XCOM, and I'm looking forward to actually watching you, Jack, struggle.
Oh.
we are going to name our soldiers after people in the stream.
Yes.
And they're going to die horribly.
Oh, brilliant.
And it's going to be a marvelous thing.
And I'm sorry already.
Well, that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll probably be there for that. I'll try to check it out, and maybe you can kill me in a brutal and glorious way as well. But,
sure.
Jack, I wanted to mention, you like a lot of the same indie games that we like on the stream. My favorite is FTL. Rich, you like FTL as well, right?
Yeah. Oh, love it.
And Binding of Isaac, Jack, that game, that game is just amazing. You played that recently, didn't you?
Yeah. Last Wednesday we played both. We played FTL and Binding of Isaac just because they're amazing games.
So, is there something about the mechanic of you die, you start over? different set of rules can happen, different scenarios, different items, different enemy layouts. Is there something about that formula that keeps you coming back?
When you only have one life to live, beating a game feels so much more satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
that sounds like the back of a VHS. When you only have one life to live. Continue. Sorry.
One life to live. One man.
One man's quest. So.
But yeah, no, I mean, you play a lot of modern day shooters, and there's like a auto save checkpoint every 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not really an accomplishment beating that. Not that those games aren't fun, but I'm just saying, like an FTL, when you get to the end boss and you beat that end boss for the first time, that feels like an accomplishment right there.
It's a shout out loud moment.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And recently I've been going back to a bunch of Binding of Isaac because I'm so hyped for Rebirth.
Oh yeah.
And so I've been going back to Binding of Isaac, and I've also been playing a bunch of 1001 Spikes, and they're very different games. They're both very hard, but 1001 Spikes has a set path, and it's just all about learning the path, and eventually you just get the timing right. Whereas something like FTL or Binding of Isaac or Risk of Rain, it's about mastering the mechanics, and maybe that's what draws me to those kind of games where you get to learn the moves so well that they're second nature, and it's all that muscle memory, and then you're just playing not knowing what's coming up. It's more real. Is that a dumb thing to say?
No, not really.
Well, the other thing with like indie games in general too, I think out of that scene you're getting a lot more creativity than you get out of the AAA titles. Like E3,
I know.
More than half the games, I mean, they're all kind of nondescript, realistic shooters, and I've played that like 30 times now. I'm ready for something new and something different, and indie games usually thrive by just having some kind of crazy idea. And
Absolutely.
it's something different.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, that's the thing. We'll get to E3, definitely. That was a hell of a show, but some really, really boring moments. But we'll get to that in a minute. Just to stay on indie games for a second, though.
Oh, yeah.
You guys played some like 1001 Spikes, for example. That one is one of my recent favorites. Is there anything coming up aside from Isaac Rebirth that you guys are looking forward to in the indie department?
Hyper Light Drifter looks super awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely, Jack.
And also, someone just sent me a copy of it's something that's still in early access, Nuclear Throne.
Oh yeah.
Looks fucking, and I think actually both are kind of like twin stick shooters, which is just a genre I like. But Nuclear Throne looks really awesome, and so does Hyper Light Drifter.
Yeah, Nuclear Throne. I have a copy. That's a good game. That's a lot of fun. Really balls hard though. So yeah, that one's cool. We went to PAX this year, and we interviewed Rami, the guy who made that, and he doesn't take any shit. He's just like a no-nonsense guy with a no-nonsense game. It's like, okay, well, I guess I see his personality in his video games. But, that one's really good. Highly recommended.
I see actually someone in the chat is mentioning Cuphead. I don't know anything about the mechanics of Cuphead. I can't tell you what kind of game it is. I just want to play it because of the art style. That game looks awesome.
Well, that's a good thing too. Well, go ahead, Rich. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I mean, it's tech. I guess it's technically an indie game. I know Star Citizen's coming out. The what's the Wing Commander guy?
Oh,
that's his Kickstarter project. So I guess that's the indie project I'm looking forward to. Though the Kickstarter funding that got, I don't know if you can even call that indie at this point. Millions of dollars to make that.
You see the way that game looks? Holy shit!
I haven't seen much about it other than I read that it was coming, and it's been so long since I've played a space flight sim. I don't care what it looks like at this point.
Well, that's going to transition to E3 when we talk about No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
But in terms of just to finish up on indie games though, there's a lot of creativity. Just on a side note, I've been told that Edmund McMillan is a big fan of RedLetterMedia, so you guys might be able to link up with him. I interviewed him twice. He's a great guy, and I could probably pass something along if you want to chat with him one day or something.
We've had a couple of correspondences. He gave me a little shit because I wore a Binding of Isaac shirt on one of the Best of the Worst episodes, but apparently it wasn't an official Binding of Isaac shirt. And I didn't know this, and so he tweeted at us and gave us some shit for that, unfortunately. But he seems like a good guy.
Jack, you're a horrible person.
Oh,
I am.
Jack. You
No,
tried your
whoever
best.
sold that shirt is a horrible person for infringing on copywritten material.
Shame. Wow. He'll get over it.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine.
So, yeah, I was gonna ask Shoji Tabuchi. Say he releases a 10-hour concert video. Right? Do you watch the 10-hour concert video, or do you attempt to finish Superman 64 in one sitting? Well, if you guys could choose, what would you choose?
Only one of those two things is possible.
Shoji. Absolutely Shoji.
Shoji.
You go for Shoji.
Shoji's a beautiful musician.
He's a beautiful man.
And a beautiful man.
Uh-huh.
Why can't they make a decent Superman game?
I don't know.
Why is it so hard?
It's the same with Wolverine. It's the rules of the comic books mean that they're invincible, so you can just.
Well, that's the thing though. You play that up.
Mm-hmm.
You just make a game where you are invincible and you can just destroy shit. You do it like Hulk Ultimate Destruction style, and you can.
Well,
You know,
maybe.
I mean, the whole thing with Superman is just power and control.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like in Superman games, for some reason, you can die in 3 hits.
You could make it
Right.
the anti-Man of Steel game where you have ultimate control. You can destroy anything, but if you kill a civilian, you lose the game.
Sure.
And so you have to figure out a way to save the day without killing any innocent civilians.
That
call
would be
it
tough.
Anti-Man of Steel.
But it's like the formula. All you'd have to do for a good Superman, just make the player feel powerful.
Sure.
And then you've got what makes Superman interesting in a game.
But, this is... We're going to go terribly off topic here, but I don't care.
Please.
This is actually my problem with Superman in general, is why Superman to me is a pretty weak character, is he's all powerful.
Well,
except for if you have a rock next to him.
That's fine, but I'm saying the people who are Superman fans, they're fans of that just invulnerability.
Yeah.
And just let the player be invulnerable. That's what a Superman game would be.
Just play Goat Simulator. It's the same thing.
It's like Arkham Asylum. They made a game that let you feel like Batman. Arkham Asylum is good because it's like the quintessential Batman experience.
Mm-hmm.
They played up the detectives,
Mm-hmm.
the villains have great dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like you're Batman.
Sure.
Yeah, it's got stealth elements. I mean, the thing with Superman, Rich, you bring up a good point, though. It would be difficult to get a Superman game going because, I mean, even the people that make the movies don't really fully understand Superman. Man of Steel, everyone's flying into buildings and people are dying in the thousands, and Superman's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Man of Steel was an excellent Hulk movie.
Nice, Rich.
It's true.
It's very true.
It's a good point.
It's that. Oh man, that movie was just a steaming hot mess.
Well, to get back on track for video games, let's go straight into E3.
Sure.
You guys did a previously recorded video about E3, and you brought up some good points. And, as you mentioned, Rich, you just, the AAA stuff bored you to tears. Jack,
A lot of it did, yes.
Did you feel the same way? Like, were there any AAA games that both of you guys would agree looked pretty cool?
It's
not from Nintendo. Let's keep it. Yeah, because Nintendo, I know you guys were pretty cool about Nintendo, and I'm also.
But I still wasn't super hyped about anything I saw.
Sure. It's one of those things where we recently got a chance to play. Our next episode is going to be on Titanfall, and playing a big budget game on a console where everything runs smooth and looks pretty is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And not having to worry about lowering your pixel density ratio or configuring mouse controls is really a nice thing. And so what was the old one where you were hunting a vampire werewolf? What was that one? Is that New Order?
Something like the Order.
The Order.
Yeah.
The Order looked like fun, like the Destiny.
But these things all look the same at this point. Is I think the problem.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what one really pissed me off, and everyone has been. I want to say, is that like The Division? Tom Clancy's The Division? That looks lame as shit.
Technically, it looks pretty because it's got nice next generation graphics.
Sure.
And a really interesting, though impractical looking map. It's like when they brought the map up, like the hologram city pops up around you, which looks neat. I'm not sure how convenient that would be using it.
No,
the
no.
game. But
it looks like every other shooter out there.
every other game is third-person shooter.
Yeah.
Cover-based, and yeah.
And so I'm sure if you are into that genre, you will pick one of these games and enjoy it a whole lot. But it just offers these kind of games offer no challenge to me. You know, like they try to shoehorn in a story, and I don't give a fuck about the story. I want to play a game.
And see, it's not even an issue of like challenge or anything to me. It's more an issue of I'm ready for something different.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a new angle on a game. I've done third person shooters. I've done shooters. I've done it to death at this point.
Same here. Yeah, I mirror the sentiment, Rich. Then you have Splatoon, for example, which you turn into a squid. So Nintendo was like, well, how do we make this different? I know, squid. And then it worked. It looked a little bit different. It was a little interesting compared to what we've seen. It was colorful. And people were really hyped about Splatoon. I mean, people couldn't shut up about it for a few days. What did you think about that as a way to take a genre and kind of try to twist it a little bit?
It's got new ideas, like the whole paint, like area control paint thing. That's clever. And then swimming in the paint. That's taking that clever idea and expanding upon it.
But even if, like, the brilliance of Splatoon, even if you take away the cutesy art style, let's say it's just a generic, like, everything's a brown shooter, right?
Yep.
There is still a new mechanic of if you put your weapon away, you can move faster. And then you need to decide whether you want to move faster or shoot someone, right? Mm-hmm. Which is not something you see in online multiplayer shooters. So it's like a new... Even though it's wrapped in this really cutesy art style and you're using ink instead of bullets, there is a new idea in there that could make for an interesting challenge. And so even if you want to make a Space Marine shootout where you put your gun away and you can run faster, it's something fucking different. I hope you don't... I didn't ask you if I could cuss.
Oh, of course.
Before we started.
No.
Oh, thank fucking Christ.
Cunts and cocks everywhere. Don't worry about it.
Jesus shit Christ.
There you go. No, we're okay here with that. So
okay, good.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, I agree. Splatoon looked interesting, and it was something a little bit different on the formula that we're so used to seeing. You guys did mention some other games that interested you in the video, but let's go over them again for a second. So, for example, No Man's Sky. Rich, I know you're excited about that. I'm excited about that too. I don't have a PS4, so I probably won't get a chance to play it, but...
It is not a PS4 exclusive.
It's coming to PC supposedly, right? I don't know where you heard that, but
according to the developer site, they're not saying what other system it's coming to, but it is not a PS4 exclusive. So we can only assume it's coming to PC.
Okay.
That's good news for me.
Same with Grim Fandango, not a PS4 exclusive.
Right.
Okay. Time though, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, No Man's Sky. I mean, I don't know if they could pull it off. If they're going to have enough variety in planets and whatnot, but yeah, that just looked fun. Unlike a lot of games at E3, that actually looked fun.
Mm-hmm. Right. It was colorful. It had a different angle. The technology looked interesting, and it was something that it's the purple elephant, for example. You know what that means?
No,
I've never heard that.
I thought you were just referring to the weird animals in the game.
No, there might be a purple elephant. No, it's a purple elephant is, I guess, it's like a graphic design term where you see a bunch of graphics. You're like pass, and then you see the purple elephant. And you're like, this is interesting. Yeah, I think I got it right. Purple elephant.
I have not heard that.
Yeah. So for me, that stood out. I mean, when I watched the Sony and Microsoft conferences, I thought, okay, all right, these look all right. But I'm done with shooters, and I'm done with shooting people in the face simulators for now. I got plenty of them on Steam, so I'm good with that. But then I saw No Man's Sky. I was like, okay, this looks good. Sunset Overdrive looked pretty interesting.
It looked colorful. It looks like it has style. The game itself looks, okay at best. I don't know, but it's nice to see something with a sense of humor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like for No Man's Sky, for me, I'm really interested to know what you do in the game.
What your objective is.
Do you have to hunt the animals? Is there... I don't know what the point of the game is. All I know is it looks really cool. And if you actually have the ability to get in your spaceship, fly into a space battle, go to another planet, hang out with some animals, get back in your ship, and fly into another space battle without any loading screens is going to be brilliant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. At the very least, it will entertain me for 10 hours.
Sure.
Right.
At the very least.
Right. And yet then we'll go back to FTL and put another 50 hours into that. It's bizarre. I just upgraded my computer and I find myself playing fucking Spelunky and FTL, and it's like, what was the point?
I got FTL off of GOG, so I have no idea how many hours I've sunken into it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Probably a lot. I know it's a ton. I've got like everything unlocked.
Sure, it's probably way more than me. FT like, but then and you know, you bring up Spelunky. That was one of my favorites. I got Spelunky on my Vita, and you know, these kind of games, you just the challenge, it takes over your life, where that's all you start thinking about, and you go to the wikis and like, oh, maybe if I can do this, and you start watching Let's Plays. Oh, this guy did this, I can do this now, and you know, maybe it's just like the further factioning of the gamers, where it's like we just kind of choose our path and that's all we're going to pay attention to. But you know, like I will take a Spelunky over any AAA bland shooter just because it's a challenge.
Sure.
It's a
totally
game.
agree.
Budget alone is not a guarantee of a good game.
Agreed. And sometimes, you know, too many cooks. The anecdotes are just flying today, Jesus. But too many cooks in a kitchen. You know, you spend so much money on a game, and you just end up with this blah mishmash of everyone's ideas on what will sell the best product. Like everyone's high on Destiny. Got to be honest, it's just Borderlands with realistic graphics and some good technology behind it, and it's not doing anything for me.
I've got to ask: is the only reason anybody is hyped about Destiny the fact that Bungie is involved? Is that it?
It seems like it. But maybe the chat will have a different perspective. And also, too, you know, it's currently the most expensive game like ever made. Like even beyond GTA, I think they said it was something like $500 million to make Destiny.
No kidding.
Oh,
that
man,
was. Don't quote me on that. But,
you hope it tanks.
I do. I hope it tanks. There's a. I think it's a horrible thing to say, but there's a thing beautiful. In movies. There's a graph in movies with like movie budgets over time, and it's a wave, you know, and at a certain point, movie budgets hit an all-time high, and you know, you get like 3.5-hour epic masterpieces of movies, and then everyone says, "Fuck this! I want more small movies." And the wave comes back down. So I think we're at that point in gaming where we need to come back down. if the game is $500 million.
Very good point.
If you get a few games that cost $500 million to make that tank, does everything just become indie games at that point?
Well,
is
yeah,
that what happens?
Then it goes down, and we get some decently mid-range games for a while. Then everything goes indie, and then it starts coming back up, and then we get the ebb and flow of it.
Okay.
Interesting. That's a good perspective, Jack. I don't know really what's going to happen, you know, but I can tell you that a lot of the audience here on Vinesauce isn't too keen about a lot of these games that they're trying to shove down our throats. You know, some of us are, and I might even get The Division, for example, just to see what it's about. And I'm from New York, so I want to see what's going on, how well they modeled it.
Sure.
You know, go to Hook and Ladder.
They've never made a Chicago game yet. I keep waiting.
They have, Rich.
What?
They started Watch Dogs.
It really?
Yeah, it's Chicago. It's a small Chicago, but the bean is there, and you got the fucking Navy pier that you can't go inside, and it's just like a miniature Navy pier that's garbage, and the rest of the game is just boring as fuck. I got it free with my graphic card. Seriously, I got the game for free with my graphics card, and I put 4 hours into it, and 2 were solving technical issues on my brand new graphics card, and then the other 2 were just me exploring and getting bored. And that's a shame, but I love Chicago. It's a beautiful city, and they underutilize it. It doesn't feel real.
I remember that, like, the hype for Watch Dogs was so real, and I remember like everyone was talking about Watch Dogs until the hour that it came out, and then everybody stopped.
Yep.
Because yeah, everyone got real bored real fast.
See, I have to admit here, I've seen like the ads on Steam for it, but I know jack shit about Watch Dogs. I don't know anything.
It's GTA where you can hack people and see if they're pedophiles or not.
Well, that just sounds creepy.
It's weird, but it's not bad. I mean, it's all right. It's competent.
Yeah, it's supposed to
glitchy.
be like a techie justice porn kind of thing, where you know, like you find the bad guys and you take them out.
Okay.
But it's
yeah,
it's just slow and dull.
I would say if you don't know what it is, Rich, pass. Just at this point, just pass. But if you really want to see a modeled Chicago in an open world game, maybe check it out somehow. But you'll probably not really feel like it's not the best game, but it's okay.
You know what?
It's all right.
I'll pick it up on sale in a year. How's that?
Yeah, wait for a sale.
I'll wait till it's $2 and I'll pick it up.
Right. And then you can drive around fake Chicago and see that the bean is no longer reflective. Instead, it's just fluorescent. It's bizarre. Anyway, so any other things from E3 that excited you guys? Anything at all? Just to finish the E3 chat.
That was the one time I think I actually cheered while watching all of that. Grim Fandango.
Okay.
Classic LucasArts adventure game. It was made by Tim Schafer of Psychonauts and Brutal Legend fame.
Mm-hmm.
It's an adventure game that came out right after the adventure game genre died, so nobody played this game, and I just think it's a beautiful little game. It's got a wonderful creative world. It's got interesting characters, and nobody's played it, and it barely runs on a modern day system. You have to jump through hoops to play Grim Fandango now, and I'm just I know we kind of cut this out on our E3 discussion. We talked a little bit about remakes and how I feel about remakes. I actually don't mind game remakes. I see it as a form of game preservation.
Sure.
And I think it's a good thing when a game like Grim Fandango gets kind of preserved for modern day and future generations.
Sure.
It's I know it looked like I was mocking Halo 2, the remake.
Yeah.
I don't care that they're remaking it. I think it's great for Halo fans. It's just I thought it was funny how one of the centerpiece discussions for Xbox during E3 was old ideas.
Not just old ideas not touched. We won't touch them, I swear to God.
Yeah. But the fact that they're remaking it alone, that doesn't offend me at all.
Right.
I think it's fine and it's great for fans of the game.
Sure.
There's a whole lot of games I'd love to see be remade. Jedi Knights.
Oh yeah.
Some of the early Sierra Quest games. I wouldn't mind seeing those again.
Nintendo is usually the ones that bring out the remakes. They brought out the Pokemon remake, but everyone was flipping their shit about that. And for me, I mean, everyone was looking forward to the Majora's Mask remake on the 3DS, and that was never announced. So people were like, "Huh? We thought that was going to happen. It didn't happen." I'm okay with remakes too if it's done well. I mean, sometimes there's a little extra content, and I'm okay with that. It just depends, really. It depends on the game, depends on the developer.
Hold on 1 second here. I think we got a car alarm going off in our parking lot here. Is that?
It's that hack fraud mic.
It's that hack fraud mic. I don't know. We're gonna see if somebody crashed into the front of the building here. Give us,
Jesus.
Give us 1 minute.
Take your time.
Okay.
Jack, is you still on the line? Okay, so I'll just talk to the stream while I'm doing that. I guess hopefully nothing went wrong with them. But while that's going on the topic of remakes.
All right, our side of the audio is going to get real fun if you can hear that beeping in the background.
Can you hear that? It's loud here, but
not at all.
Okay, we'll just keep going then.
Everything's good then?
Yeah.
Everything is good. So what were we talking about?
We're talking about remakes, Majora's Mask remake.
Yeah, I mean it depends.
I've never beaten Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
And I think I was just a little too young when it came out to get its brilliance. I know it is considered to be a great game now, but it flopped when it came out. But so I'd be interested in playing it just to see if I could do it.
I'm going to admit to being superficial here. I think the Nintendo 64 is one of the ugliest fucking consoles they've ever made. And it's the place to go if you want blurry, blocky shit. And I always
foggy.
I always thought that young Link was the ugliest character model I've ever seen on a main character. So that is the only reason I've never played Majora's Mask, and I feel bad because people say this game is great, and it's a really superficial reason to have tried it.
We just got an N64. We'll do it on the stream.
Oh.
It'll take a while. You guys might have some issues with it early on. It takes a little while to pick up. But no, I kind of agree with you with the N64. It's tough for me to replay N64 games, which was the Mario Kart game that just came out. They did 4 N64 levels. They upgraded them, made them look nice, so I was happy about that. that's the kind of stuff I like to see remade. You know, I don't necessarily need to revisit Halo 2 or anything like that. You know, I'm sure some people love it, but you know, if you can preserve some cool stuff like that, then I'm okay with it. But again, like I said, it depends on the game.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna change gears a little bit here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch gears. I'm gonna ask you, Jack.
Yeah.
Why did you break the wheel, which gives you life? Why did you smack the wheel of the worst?
Over, Jack. Do you remember? He's looking up in the air like he doesn't remember. Like a kid pretending he didn't break the cookie jar.
Okay, we're gonna get a little real talk over here.
Real talk.
Real talk on the wheel talk.
Yeah.
Jack does not like the wheel of the worst. Oh
my god.
I think it's the dumbest idea in the world. And I love Best of the Worst. I love watching old bad movies and making fun of them because, like, I get it. You know, I understand the structure of what a movie is supposed to be, and so the jokes come. But the Wheel of the Worst, when we watched just this dumb shit, they had me. The first Wheel of the Worst I was on, we did the Key Matters, the Latchkey Kid video, and we did some other bullshit that I forget. And I honestly had the worst time ever. And so I just didn't come back for any other Wheel episodes because I thought they were dumb. And here, we needed to get this episode shot, and I was the only one available.
Oh my god!
And so I was like, "Okay, Jack, just come." And it was after we watched. What did we watch first?
That it's Cleared for Takeoff.
Airplane.
Yeah, it was after we watched Cleared for Takeoff, which sucked my ability to live from my body. And so, you know, it was just, I was really hoping I broke the wheel so we wouldn't have to watch it.
You see, Jack, though, the wheel, I mean, the theme is appropriate. It's all about the gamble. It's all about gambling. And, you know, you get some whammies on the wheel, like Cleared for Takeoff. But every now and then you hit a jackpot like SOS or Tales from Genesis Space.
Well, that's the thing. That last episode taught me to respect the wheel because we got to see Tales from Genesis Space and we got to see SOS. Which was, I mean, you saw, it's brilliant. SOS is amazing. So now I know to respect the wheel.
Now you know, but you know, I'm really, I'm proud of you that you tried, and it's preserved. It's preserved. It's on film.
We brought out a bunch of hot glue and we put the wheel back together in all of its glory. It is still functioning. So I did not do a good job of breaking it, but man,
it's barely functioning.
It was barely functioning to begin with.
See, the thing with the wheel is, I designed it specifically to look like a piece of shit.
Oh, you made it?
Yeah, Rich built it.
It looks lopsided, and the problem with that, though, is there's all kinds of balance issues with the wheel. We got to be careful about, like, tapes go on what side, so we get a fair spin out of it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, it's just those are tough. Those are Wheel of the Worst episodes they're tough to be funny on, you know.
Yeah, I could see the airplane one was tough. Mike was stretching a bit. He was like, "Well, there's two ways you could make this," and they didn't do either.
Right.
And I was thinking, like, well, he's got a good point, but I can't see really a whole lot else. But I'll tell you what, Rich, that prank call to Fred Levine was fantastic. He never got back to you, did he? He never called back.
No.
Brilliant.
I think my plane crashed.
Right.
I will never be able to recreate a moment like that ever again. I don't know where that came from.
That was so beautiful, Rich.
It was. I didn't know Mike was going to shove the phone at me, so that just all magically came out of my mouth.
It was. I mean, I think there was an edit, but there was no time. Like literally, Mike called. We found out it was Ted Levine, and he handed the phone to Rich. There was no extra space to think of a bit there. Rich did that off the top of his head, and it was perfect. Oh my god, that was so funny.
Do that again, and it'll just be a letdown.
And that's what's great about you guys filming this stuff, because you know you're able to get this stuff. If it's a good moment, you have it. You don't have to recreate it. It's there, and it was great. That was a good episode.
That's why we've only done movies that we've never seen before, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
sure. Rich, I have to talk about your laugh for a second.
Sure.
And the reason I want to talk about your laugh is because one of my videos made it to a website recently, and well, I want to read this to you.
Okay.
Someone said that I had the most annoying laugh in the universe.
Uh-huh.
And then another person said his laugh is glorious. It's just behind Rich Evans in terms of annoying. So for me, that was a very interesting moment. You know, it's banshee-like. It's a wail almost. My laugh, but my question is, you know, you have this laugh. Some people love it, some people hate it. Very similar to Ricky Gervais. And I mean, you mentioned while you were streaming one day that you can't, like, if you try to laugh, you won't be able to recreate it.
I did try, because I don't know if you've seen it. Mike did like that United States of No documentary. He was talking about the end of Revenge of the Sith. The story is that when Revenge of the Sith was playing in theaters, Mike and Jay actually kind of dragged me kicking and screaming to see it. I was done with Star Wars at that point, but we saw it in the theater. And the end of the movie comes up, and when Darth Vader rips out of the chair like Frankenstein and says, "No!" I started laughing hysterically in a crowded theater full of people. And I kept laughing until the credits rolled. I could not stop laughing. And Mike wanted to get me laughing on camera just so we could show people what it was like in the theater. And I could not do it. I can't recreate that laugh. That is my natural laugh. And I just go all in with my laughter.
I respect that. I think most of us respect that here on the site, because they have to deal with it every day. So I you know, my shitty laugh. So you know what? I say go for it, and you're okay with it. You go all in. You don't give a shit, right?
No.
Rich is a jovial person, and if he feels like laughing, who are you to tell him not to laugh? You fucking prick. You leave Rich Evans alone.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, let me also, while I'm on the topic of your laugh, Rich, I wanted to mention, you know, Plinkett. You know, you've played this character for years, and I mean, this gets into the history of RedLetterMedia and the whole thing. I mean, let's take a nosedive straight into it for a few minutes. So how do you guys know each other? And Jack, also, how did you link up with these guys as well? How did this partnership of RedLetterMedia begin?
Sure, I'll let Rich start.
We all kind of met at different times. I met Mike in high school, and then just kind of like, you know, after school, we'd hang out at his parents' house, and he had a camera, and we'd just make stupid videos in our free time. That was our hobby. And then later on, there was this website called Rewind Video, and a bunch of different like amateur filmmakers that they made movies would congregate there. And the only person who hung out there with any talent was Jay Bauman. And that's how me and Mike met Jay, and then we'd start making stuff together. And then Jack, I'm actually not entirely sure how you came into the picture, because you came into things up here in Milwaukee when I was still living in Chicago.
That's right. I magically appeared in the
You magically appeared, as far as I'm concerned.
That's true. Yeah, no, and you know, I don't know how did I meet Mike and Jay? You know, just friends of friends. We're both internet filmmakers, and so we just met because that's what happens. You naturally go towards the things that you like, right? And they needed actors, and I'm a terrible actor. But I'm okay with anything, and so they just like, we need an actor, and I said, I'm a terrible actor, but then they said, oh, whatever, you'll show up, so we'll have you. And so I started acting in their stuff, and then yeah, we just, you know, they helped me on my shoots, I helped them on their shoots, and that's how we got started. Kind of a boring I think the first thing I did was the Grabowskis. I was Frank Hammer.
That's early.
Frank Hammer and the Grabowskis, and then I was in. Jay then had me come back for Pork in Space, which I loved. I loved my character in Pork. And whenever they have me act in anything, it's like, okay, I want to be a good actor. I want to be prepared. Where's the script? So I can, you know, learn my lines. And they go, script? This is what you say. And they just tell me my lines right before they start shooting. Bunch of hacks and.
You say that, but I recall you having me come up to Milwaukee so you could film Poop Again P.I. with me.
And I gave you a script.
You wrote a script for something called Poop Again P.I. I just want to put that out.
About the detective that poops in his pants? Yeah, and?
Okay.
Oh my God. That's brilliant.
That was... Like I had met Rich a few times before then, and obviously enjoyed Rich a lot. And I needed a good actor for the character of like the grizzled old chief of police.
And the first person you think of with grizzled old police chief is Rich Evans.
Rich Evans, absolutely. And I didn't even know you were in Chicago at the time, you know, because we had not interacted with each other a lot. And so I was like, oh, Mike, can we get Rich and have him come and do Poop Again? And Mike's like, sure, whatever. And you came up from Chicago to act in Poop Again.
Wow.
That's good people. That's good people right there.
I was flattered that somebody would actually want me to act in their project.
And you were great. You were great in this shitty little video.
Oh, that is good stuff. Maybe at some point I might trouble you for some links to these early works so that I can show the stream at some point. How do you feel about that?
Sure. All of the Red Letter Media stuff is on the Red Letter Media site. My stuff is Poop Again. No, Poop Again is mine. And,
okay.
And Mike, it will not show that on the Red Letter Media
site. Okay. Okay.
I remember I asked Mike. I pitched Poop Again PI about the detective who poops in his pants to Mike and Jesse after a music video shoot because I really liked the idea and I wanted Mike to play the detective, and Mike very respectfully declined, saying that he did not want to poop his pants on camera.
Decision.
Really smart decision. Really smart decision.
Okay.
How many people have we lost since we started talking about pooping?
No, we're growing.
We're gaining. We're gaining.
Yeah, we're gaining. Right now, according to Twitch, I mean, we have 1,300 people, and there's 850 in Chitango alone, so that's pretty good.
See?
All right.
So, but let's move on though. Let's talk about. Well, actually, before I do that, I kind of wanted to mention Jack and Rich. You were both in the Phantom Menace review, right? When Mike was like, describe these people like you ain't never seen them before.
Yep.
And Jack, you were the one that was like, I see what you're doing. Right?
Yeah.
That was you.
Yeah, that was me.
That was a hell of a thing. And you guys, that was my first exposure to Rich Stevens as well. Because Rich, obviously most of us didn't know about Red Letter Media until that review. So I wanted to actually talk about that for a second. That was a big break for you guys, and from there it opened a lot of opportunities for Red Letter Media and for you guys. So my question also goes to, how did you feel that Mike was doing a different version of the character that you were?
I knew about it. I mean, the Phantom Menace review wasn't the first Mr. Plinkett review.
The Star Trek ones.
It was actually the fifth one he'd done. He started with the Star Trek movies.
Yeah.
Before he started doing those, he said, Rich, I'm using the Plinkett voice. Do you mind? I'm like, no, I don't care.
It's a great voice.
And I really don't care because the Plinkett reviews have done great things.
Sure.
So, so that was like the fifth one, the Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah.
And
that was
I think I was the only one who thought it was going to go somewhere. It was like Mike and Jay, and they're doing it. They enjoy doing it, but I don't know that they thought that fame would come from it. But I mean,
no, Brian.
I mean, I didn't have that much to do with it until I saw the final edit. So I was kind of looking at it from kind of like an outsider, and I saw this is really entertaining. People might watch this.
It was
actually deliberately watch this.
It was right. It's right there. Like, and all of his reviews are incredibly entertaining. And I remember seeing the Star Trek ones when they first came out. Just like, oh, Mike, these are fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
But like, I think the Phantom Menace review rode that infotainment line perfectly, where it was entertainment, but it also gave you something. Gave you something to mull over, script-wise, characterization-wise. And so, and I can't imagine a lot of people think of them as informational, but I do.
No, I learned a ton from them. I mean, I'll just tell you, like, when I saw that first Phantom Menace review, I showed everyone, mainly because the way Mike was doing Plinkett's voice, it sounded like an old friend of ours, this guy Gamby.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that's his name. And he's deaf in one ear, actually deaf in both ears, but to different varying degrees. And he does that voice. That's his real voice. So I was like, you guys need to see this. Someone is pretending to be Gamby on YouTube or wherever it was uploaded. And then we actually really got into it. And then from there, I had to show everyone, because it wasn't so much about the voice. It was more about, the stuff, the content. And then I found out that, Rich, you were in fact, the live action guy that played Mr. Plinkett, and that you had a different take on the character. Mike had a different take on the character.
Yeah.
The shit that you guys got when Mr. Plinkett showed up on Half in the Bag.
Fake Plinkett. Well, it started with the Revenge of Nadine thing.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not shocked that people didn't like me, because at that point I knew that I was not the real Plinkett.
Right.
As far as the audience was concerned.
Sure.
I knew that. So I wasn't shocked that people hated it. But.
Well, I mean, you deal with what you're given, but at the same time, like, Rich, now that there's been distance between this Phantom Menace review and now, I mean, you are the Plinkett. Let's face it. People that watch these Half in the Bag things and see you're pretty much now at this point, it's yours again, I feel. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, okay, you can say that, but I don't think so, because every day we see comments. When's the next Plinkett review? I don't think the audience has forgotten.
What are you talking about, Rich? I never see those comments. No one ever asks for the next Plinkett review. What is you, crazy town?
Crazy town.
No, and I think isn't official canon now? You'll have to remind me, because I don't watch Half in the Bag a lot. You'll have to remind me. Isn't official canon that there are 2 Plinketts?
We did an ad where we explained that there are 2 Plinketts.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, isn't in one of the things.
Canon's not important.
Canon's very important.
I mean, it really.
Canon is important to me. I thought the Emperor showed up at fake Plinkett's house?
Yes, looking for real Plinkett.
Looking for real Plinkett.
And he finds me, and he electrocutes me.
Right.
And then on the next Half in the Bag, I was still sitting in the chair electrocuted.
Oh, nice. I don't remember that. Yeah. I don't remember any of this.
I watched it. Yeah, I watched it, but I don't remember. There's a lot of episodes of Half in the Bag. You guys have done, I mean, talking about Mike being a workaholic, as you guys said one time on the stream, like why he doesn't play video games. Yeah, I mean, you guys produce a lot. Jay and Mike and you guys, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on, especially in the past 4 years in terms of like web videos and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Literally,
I mean,
that's the only reason we started the game show, is because we wanted an excuse to play games.
And have some fun for once.
We work so much on other projects where it's just like, if we can make a show out of this, then we have an excuse to sit down for 6 hours and play video games.
Mike and Jay are almost always, they're not, if they're not busy filming something, they're busy editing our crap. Mm-hmm. So I mean, part of the deal with previously recorded being just 10-minute chunks, it's just me and Jack. I mean, the whole goal was just to have it as independent from Jay and Mike as possible, so we get another show out there, and they weren't bogged down with another 12 hours worth of editing.
It's just us. I shoot it, I edit it, and that way just Jay and Mike don't have to deal with it, but there's still content on the site. So that's
okay. See, I didn't know you actually edited those things, Jack. That's cool. But Jack, I was going to mention earlier, you make videos though. You make videos that you consider, if I remember correctly from when you were streaming, you said you make stuff that would consider easy to be spread around, stuff that you brainstorm for ideas that would be possibly and potentially viral. But you also have another job where you edit, don't you? Or
No, that's my actual job is making viral videos.
Interesting.
I make branded viral content. And so I work a lot with Funny or Die. I've been with Funny or Die since the site started for a while.
Okay.
And so basically, if a brand or a company wants a video to go viral, I am one of several people who will kind of pitch ideas and try to make viral content for a brand. And we've had a couple success. If you've ever seen the "Hey, Pass Me a Beer" videos.
I haven't seen that one,
and that's okay. It doesn't hurt my feelings. But
the high five videos.
Yeah, the high five videos, the bowling trick shot videos. I've made a good name for myself, I think, in as far as viral content is concerned. But you would never know it was me because I'm always behind camera and editing. So
okay,
so it's okay.
So you are, I mean, that's your job. You're an editor. You're a video editor.
Yeah, I'm a video editor and producer by trade. And then in my free time, I hang out with these assholes.
I am the least skilled person involved with Red Letter Media.
You are the face of Red Letter Media.
In a way, you are.
I am the mascot.
Brilliant. You don't edit at all, Rich?
No, I'm an idiot.
I actually had a question though. Do you guys when you do best of the worst, or when you do any like stuff like that, like half in the bag or anything like that, do you use a switchboard like TriCaster, or do you just everything's in post? Everything's in post.
Yeah, it's a 3-camera setup for both. Like the discussion of half in the bag and the discussion of best of the worst is a 3-camera setup, and it's all in post. And Jay and Mike, here's some real dirt. Jay and Mike are still using Final Cut 7. What? Yeah.
That's what I know.
Yeah, it's very important to use the slate. So,
that is
yeah.
clapboard thing for people who don't know what a slate is.
Right. I'm a Premiere guy myself.
Me too.
I've always been.
Since the switch over from Final Cut 7 to X, I switched over to Premiere CS5, and now I do the CC, and I fucking love it. I can't believe I wasted so much time with Final Cut. Not to get too nerdy, but
no, it's fine. I worked at a community television station here in this borough of Staten Island that I live in New York, and let me tell you something. The shit that I was exposed to on a daily basis. You guys, if I sent you VHSs, you guys would be like, "What?" No, really. I had to deal with a lot of stuff. Everyone was using Final Cut. Everyone was using 1980s like hot pink graphics.
Nice.
And it was crazy. But yeah, Premiere for me completely.
Absolutely. Well, and really just I've been trying to slowly talk them into moving over to Premiere, just because Final Cut is still a 32-bit system, and so it's only taking advantage of half of your processing power, and so like render times are doubled, export times are doubled. It's a joke.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't have any render times on my computer, and that's a beautiful thing, because they forced me to use Final Cut, and I just noped right out of that. Now the question is, we've gone for almost an hour. How much longer are you guys comfortable going for? Because I have a few community questions and just a few other little questions.
I'm good for another like 15, 20.
Yeah.
You good for another 15, 20? Yeah.
15, 20. Cool. All right, so I'll ask a few rapid fire questions then.
Great.
Sure.
And then we'll go to community questions. So I guess real quick, I wanted to mention, when are we getting a Space Cop video game tie-in?
If somebody wants to make one, more power to you. But I don't think there's been any talks of an actual video game tie-in.
That would be great.
We'll be lucky if we get the movie done.
Well, I was going to ask, how are you doing with that? Is it coming along a bit?
It's coming along. We got like 2 major sequences to shoot, but we got a lot in the can.
Mm-hmm.
Though I know editing this one's probably going to be a bitch. There's going to be a lot of post-production type stuff going on.
A lot of editing, a lot of effects, a lot of garbage.
And that makes it sound really exciting, but it's not. It's not.
Just the stuff filmed last month. I was not really like, I'm excited for Space Cop because I think it's a really funny premise, but the footage I've seen from the past month gets me genuinely excited about Space Cop.
Now you're overhyping the movie. Everybody's gonna be let down.
Overhyped train coming into the station to toot motherfucks. I think there's some funny stuff.
The funny thing is, I'm on camera all the time for RedLetterMedia. I hate watching myself on camera. It's the most uncomfortable thing in the world. I cringe.
Nice.
All right. Let's see. What's next? Do you guys ever want to escape from Milwaukee? That's a fan question.
Well, I came here from Chicago, so it's not bad. It's fine. It's a fine place.
I love Milwaukee. Milwaukee. I mean, it's perfect for me just because no one gives a fuck about Milwaukee. And so you can just be here and do whatever you want, and that's the thing I love.
It's like Chicago with less traffic.
Yeah,
rush hour here is actually an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That's unusual for me. Rush hour is like all day in Chicago.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
it's really it's a nice city, and like some people like the big city thing. It's not for me. I dig being able to walk down the street and say hi to people and not get stabbed. I really enjoy that.
Okay. That's good. Yeah, I mean, New York City's a big city too. I don't like to get stabbed either.
Right.
So I'm with you on that. What else? I'm trying to get through as many as I can. Let's see. Okay, here's a good one. Star Trek. You guys Star Trek fans?
Yes.
Of course.
More so than Star Wars.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Star Trek fan as of recently, so I currently working my way through Enterprise. I got every other series done behind me. Question is, what's your favorite Star Trek series, both of you?
Next Generation,
Next
hands down.
Generation, of course.
It's all about Picard.
Oh god.
Nice.
It's all about diplomacy,
Yes.
motherfucker.
Absolutely.
That is so refreshing. I love Picard. Let's sit down and think this over. I wouldn't do that shit.
Yeah. Did you like Deep Space Nine, either of you?
I like these.
What do you think?
I'm just saying my favorite is Next Gen.
Okay.
God, I want to say Classic Trek next, but I don't know if that's just the nostalgia glasses. Deep Space Nine is quite good.
I would say Next Gen. I think original is mostly nostalgia glasses. There are some really good episodes of original, but for me it goes Next Gen, Voyager.
Yeah.
I dug the shit out of Voyager.
I love those characters. I mean, Kirk, Spock, McCoy. It's classic.
Okay.
Watch me go.
All right, you can go if you want.
Okay, good. I'll do it one more time.
I'm somewhere in the middle, but I see what you guys are saying. Okay, that's good to know. Next Gen, though, we've all agreed Next Gen's the best gen.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah,
good.
of course.
All right, let's talk about some favorite games. What games do you guys like the best? If you have like a few that you could just,
This is one of those things like asking your favorite movie. It can change from week to week or
at the moment. Then
a
cop-out question, huh?
I haven't been playing many games at the moment because I've just been busy with Space Cop and real life stuff.
Sure.
Historically, my favorite game, I've always loved the first two Thief games.
Okay.
Nice.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Garrett is just the best character ever.
What do you think, Jack?
Anything
that sticks out?
Like I said, lately I have been. I'm going for Platinum God in Binding of Isaac. I'm trying to get all the achievements in Binding of Isaac. So replaying that over and over and over again. It's currently my favorite game as far as hours in go. It's Team Fortress 2. That game is my jam. Up
Nice.
in there. And
That's right. You have the engineer on your Skype profile there.
I do.
Yeah.
I have so many hours into that game. It's hard not to call it my favorite. So I guess that, but also, like just hooking up the Super Nintendo and playing Super Mario World and just going, oh, remember fun.
Here's a list of games I love unquestionably. There's the first two Thieves.
Okay.
There's the two Zone of the Enders games.
Okay.
I'm really fond of Maximo, No More Heroes, Doom.
You've brought up Doom
Quake
a lot,
2.
and I'm gonna call bullshit on anyone whose Doom is their favorite game. I think
Oh,
that's...
fuck you.
I think
We got
Doom
a
is
few
the
people here that
ugliest
like
game.
Doom a lot.
Well, it's just so ugly though.
I love the sprites. That doesn't change the fact that it's fun to just go nuts and shoot everything.
Yeah, that's why I like Team Fortress 2.
All right.
Okay. So, all right. This one's from Cowboy Sam. First one's for Rich. I'll just ask the Rich one because it's a good one. You brought up Mass Effect 3's ending several times in your reviews, using it as an example of a poor ending. As a writer yourself, how do you approach the ending of the Mass Effect series?
Well, I think the problem with Mass Effect is they had no idea what they were doing in the first place. I think, I love Mass Effect 2, but looking back on it, they don't really move the plot forward. They're not moving towards a solution. It's just like another adventure. And then by the time they get to the third, I think they had a very good idea how they wanted to end all of the subplots.
Mm-hmm.
But the main Reaper thing just feels like they pulled it out of their ass at the last second. They said, we'll do something artsy. And that ending just does not work for that series. So I don't know what I would have done. I don't know what you could have done because I don't think they set it up properly in the first place. That's my answer.
Okay. Any thoughts from Fish of Sex? Any thoughts on a version of Best of the Worst with video games?
Actually, someone just mentioned somewhere, like in the comments section, about our E3 video where they would have liked to see our reactions to the conferences like we do on Best of the Worst, and I actually thought that was a really good idea.
As far as the playing bad games and making fun of them, don't other people already? I mean, that's
kind of what I do too.
That's the angry video game nerd. A lot of people do that. I mean,
sure.
It's
done to death.
Yeah.
I think actually what we do on Previously Recorded is very similar to Best of the Worst, where we have footage of us on the couch playing the game, and
I mean, we only have 3 episodes
right,
so
exactly.
far, so.
Well, technically we have 5, but only
Only 3
hours.
released.
Only 3 released. So, but like bad. I think maybe that's something more where we would stream.
Yeah. If
Say-
we're gonna play a bad game, old game, we'd probably just
Save it for a live stream, just because then I don't have to worry about looking at it over and over again and editing. But yeah.
Okay, from PTCF4, what do you guys think about the concept of early access games?
Jack hates them. I don't mind. I'm just gonna wait till it's done anyway. So if somebody else wants to play it early, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I left this in the E3 edit. Early access is nothing but bullshit marketing, and all it's doing is building up hype for the beta release so people can play it and let the developers fix all the bugs, and then there's no hype left for when the game comes out.
They want to make money, and somebody saw that Minecraft made a shitload of money. So they're going to keep doing it.
Oh, of course they're going to keep doing it. And I think it's terrible, and I try my very hardest to stay away from any game that is not finished.
I don't know that I'd want to play a beta unfinished version of a game, but just watching like the videos that the people who made Prison Architect have been making, like watching the progress just on their YouTube channel,
sure,
that's been fun.
Okay.
Well, I mean, for me, it goes both ways. It could be bad, it could be good. It depends, really. Sometimes an early access works, and I don't mind playing it and testing it out. Most of the time, I'm with Jack, though, and I don't really want to ruin the hype or the surprise for myself. So I kind of stay away from early access for bigger games, but if it's an indie game that's like almost done anyway, then all right, why not?
Sure. Well, yeah, it's a horse apiece, but like, for example, DayZ is something, the DayZ standalone was something that I was crazy hyped about, following every single little pinch of development. And now we're what, 2 years away and not even closer to a release. And I'm done. I'm done with DayZ, and the game isn't even out yet.
I hear you. It's like that with Rust too, but Rust is making developments, to redo their thing from the ground up. So yeah. Yeah,
but like even Rust is like that. There's a game that I got really psyched about, and I played a little bit. It's still in early access. It's called Sir, You Are Being Hunted, and it's like I've played enough of the beta now where I don't care if they fix anything because I'm done playing the game.
Here's the thing though, Jack. You can choose not to play it. Does it really bother you that they do it?
It bothers me because now I'm not excited about it.
But you didn't have to play it and get excited about it. You could have said, okay, this is a thing that they're working on. I'll wait till it's done.
Yeah, but I haven't even played the DayZ standalone, and I'm no longer excited about it.
Just from the constant hype?
Just from the constant hype.
You're nuts.
It's true, I am nuts.
Okay, next. I do have another one.
Okay.
Just a few more quick ones. First one is from Reggie Giggity. Have there been any video game adaptations of movies which were not horrible that you guys like?
I don't know that I've gone out of my way to play movie adaptations.
Oh, wait, a video game adaptation of a movie or a movie adaptation of a video game? What was the question?
I think it was a video game adaptation of a movie, right?
Yeah. So any that you like. I mean, GoldenEye springs to mind immediately as one that everyone seems to, say is the best.
Right. But I really enjoyed a lot of the first couple of Spider-Man games for PS2.
Okay.
Those were, just because you get to play Spider-Man and swing around. And Spider-Man 2...
Spider-Man 2 is only good for the web swinging. The rest of the game is crap.
Of course. But it felt really nice to play as Spider-Man.
Okay.
And do you remember the first Spider-Man game? If you beat it a certain way, then you could play the entire game as the Green Goblin and just bomb everyone. That was neat. I'm trying to think of any other video games based off of movies. Oh, have you guys seen the... this isn't based off of a movie, but the Pixel Enterprise that you can go around and explore as data, that was really neat. Just as a dork.
I will be interested when somebody makes a game out of that. But,
There's already, the Oculus Rift, right?
I keep hearing of it,
someone made a 3D modeled Enterprise bridge and ready room, and I believe conference room. I streamed it. And it's just that, and then you can't really explore the Enterprise, but you can see like the stations in first person mode. It's okay. I think in a few years we'll get like the whole Enterprise when VR becomes a thing.
I see someone in the chat mentioning the Power Rangers the movie Super Nintendo game. Fuck you for remembering that. their attempt at a side-scrolling brawler with the Power Rangers. It's terrible.
Oh my lord!
There's got to be a good movie game, but
I'm
gonna take too long thinking about it.
That's okay. We'll move on to the next one. There's, like I said, maybe 2 more last questions, final ones. From Joel, who's a streamer here, who wanted me to tell you that he's a huge fan of you guys, the
Hey,
same
Joel.
as I am. We've been watching you for, sleep and piss for years, and I'll be in your bedroom tonight. I was gonna say, what?
Nothing. We're just slowly walking out of the room.
Joel is no, he's like me, where we started watching Mike's videos and then we progressed, and I have Feeding Frenzy. I actually have a quick piece of history from this site. I actually emailed Mike about 3 years ago, and he did a little Plinkett voice clip for us. He did a little promo for us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we had it on our site, and when we weren't streaming, it would pop up every now and then and just say, "Go to Red Letter Media. Vinny's a fucking asshole."
Nice.
It was perfect. Seriously, I'll always be grateful to Mike for that. And another thing, I have an autographed copy of Feeding Frenzy, and I specifically asked for Jay and Mike, but not you, Rich.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Rich, why weren't you in that?
What?
Or were you in Feeding Frenzy?
I am in it.
Where are you?
I'm Mr. Plinkett.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, for crying out loud! Oh, for.
The next question is, where do you get the VHS movies for Best of the Worst anyway? Donations, bought from thrift shops, or stolen from Satan's fiery asshole?
All 3. We get plenty of people send us stuff, and then we get a lot from thrift stores.
Yeah.
Mostly
Okay.
people sending us stuff at this point, though.
Yeah, which is great. Keep sending us stuff. It's great. But like
Some people don't get it though. They'll like send us the Matrix Revolutions, and we're,
Right.
we're not going to do that.
or they'll send us Jerry Maguire or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, we definitely thrift store. I think the most famous is Elves. Jay found at a secondhand store in like Montana.
I think it was
okay.
actually a pawn shop.
A pawn shop. It was just the craziest find ever. But we have a lot of great secondhand stores and 7 Mile Fair,
Okay.
which is a large rummage sale.
And I guess this one's just from me as a final question. Since you guys have gotten a lot of attention from the internet and, with the half in the bag stuff with the reviews, and now that you guys are doing the video game show, which a lot of people seem to like, how has it been? I mean, you guys have been doing this for years, but now you're getting a lot of attention. Have the fans been nice? Has it been annoying? And see, honestly, like, how do you feel about this internet fame stuff?
There are a lot of good fans out there. Then there's some creepy ones too.
I know.
There's some people online who are borderline scary.
Mm-hmm.
But then every now and then you'll meet somebody in real life who's just very friendly, and they'll come up and shake your hand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell a story. I've told it before, but it's the ultimate recognized
story.
and public story. Okay.
Sure.
I was just browsing around this used DVD store by where I used to live, and I'm just minding my own business, looking at the movies, and this guy behind the counter notices me. He's not 100% sure it's me though. It's Rich Evans.
Uh-huh.
So he goes to the Red Letter Media site and he pulls up one of our old videos, the one with the monkey man, and in that video there's footage of my grandmother who's now deceased, right? So he pulls up this video on the store computer. Now I'm elsewhere in the store. I'm just minding my own business, and this guy plays this video on the store speakers, and just out of nowhere, I hear my dead grandmother's voice in this DVD store, and I jump like 10 feet straight in the air. I turn around, and there's this clerk going, "Hey, you're Rich Evans."
Oh my God.
I love that story.
It's a great story, and I've probably told it 8 times now. But I love it.
I didn't know it, and that's pretty. Oh, how was it though? I mean, you've been recognized more times than that. Do you like being stopped if people recognize
No,
you?
I don't mind. I don't mind. I mean, if I'm busy doing something with somebody, I'll make it quick. Oh yeah, nice to meet you. But
Okay,
I'll say hi. It's nice being noticed.
cool.
Yeah, it's very nice. I unfortunately have garnered a nickname on the internet, which you can't help. But it's everyone who I've met face to face has been very nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
They're-
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never met anyone in person who's been like a jerk and said I hate you and your laugh sucks.
Right.
That has never happened.
It's easier when you have the anonymity of a computer behind you to say whatever you want. But that being said, I want to thank you two a lot. Seriously, this was a thrill for me. I mean, it's just great to talk to you guys and get to learn a little bit about the stuff I've been watching for the past 4 years, you know. I wish you, like, seriously all the best with Previously Recorded. And I recommend it to everyone that's watching right now. twitch.tv/previouslyrecorded_live. And, of course, if you wanted to check out their videos, you could go to redlettermedia.com and look for Previously Recorded. So, Jack, thank you.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, that's been nice, Vinny.
It's been a pleasure. And, Rich, thank you so much for putting up with all our shit on the internet.
That's okay. Pay attention to Feeding Frenzy next time you watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have watched the movie.
We believe you.
I'm giving you shit. It's all right.
Remember, there was a scene where Jay was jerking off under a cover. I remember that.
Yes, that happened. That was
somehow I remember that, but not Rich Evans being in the fucking movie. Jesus.
Sadly, that was my idea too. I was like, "What do we do for the scene?" Jay, why don't you just jerk off?
Yeah. That's a funny scene.
All right. Well, you guys, again, thanks for joining me today. And I'll tell you what, everyone, check out their channel. Check out Red Letter Media. And you two have a great day, and I'll see you next time you stream.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a nice one.
Bye.
All right. Peace out, guys. Later. All right. So there you go. There was Jack Picard and Rick Stevens. Man, I so deserve that. I didn't remember that Plinkett was in Feeding Frenzy. But hey, what are you gonna do? I'll just drink myself to death. Don't worry about it. In any case, though, seriously, that was amazing. Thank you guys for the fan questions for Rich and Jack. And thank you for joining me for this interview. I think this was one of my favorites. I mean, not just because I know the guys from watching their videos and stuff, but because they were just fucking really forthcoming and nice dudes. And I even got Rich to laugh a little bit. And that is a personal achievement I will never forget. One day, I will develop a laugh more annoying than Rich Evans. One day. That day is not this day. What I'm going to do, though, for now is I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to stream a little bit of Mario Kart just to take the edge off, really. And, yeah, I'll see you guys in a few minutes with some Mario Kart 8. So stick around. I'll be right back.